Hi, my name is Alessandra Simmons, and today I will be presenting my country specialist project on Puerto Rico. I chose Puerto Rico because I do have family from the island, and I did think it would be interesting with the added bonus that it is technically a United States territory. So let's get into it. To begin with Puerto Rico's historical roots, Puerto Rico was originally settled by the indigenous people who migrated from South America and the Caribbean. By around 1000 CE, the Taino people had developed a structured society based on fishing, trade, and also farming. When Christopher Columbus did arrive and claim the island for Spain, this officially marked the beginning of colonization. Spain later did establish San Juan as a very important commercial hub to them. Colonization obviously had major consequences for the island as a whole. The indigenous Taino population declined due to the forced labor and conflict that was enforced by the Spanish colonizers, as well as disease that was brought over from Spain. To replace the labor, enslaved Africans were brought to the island, which did have an overall influence on Puerto Rican culture in terms of food, music, and their traditions. The economy did become based on plantation agriculture in terms of coffee, sugar, and tobacco. And the United States did gain control over Puerto Rico after the Spanish American War. In terms of the political climate and economy, today Puerto Rico does have its own government and constitution, but it is still technically under U.S. authority. People born in Puerto Rico are U.S. citizens, but they are not able to vote in any presidential elections and have very, very limited representation in Congress. Economically, Puerto Rico did face a major recession around 2006, which caused the unemployment rate to rise and led to many people having to move to the mainland of the United States. Loss of tax incentives, mismanagement of government funds, natural disasters, and also COVID have made the economy on the island more unstable than before and pushed more people overseas to the mainland United States. One thing that I did find interesting when I was researching for this project is that there is an ongoing debate about Puerto Rico's political status in terms of whether it should become a United States state, remain a territory as it is now, or become completely independent from the United States overall. The island has accumulated about $70 billion in debt, which did lead to the largest municipal bankruptcy process in United States history. The average household income in Puerto Rico is also about one third of the average US income, and their poverty rate on the island is more than double that of the poorest United States state. In terms of cultural identities, Puerto Rican identity does go farther than just the island barriers. It is often described as a quote nation on the move. What this means is the identity includes both people living on the island of Puerto Rico and those who live in the mainland United States. Actually, right now, more Puerto Ricans live in the United States than actually live on the island, which makes diaspora, as listed in the PowerPoint, kind of a key part of their identity of how they spread from their homeland. Migration, economic struggles, and events like Hurricane Maria have really shaped how people view their Puerto Rican identity, most specifically in relation to the United States. Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny, Ricky Martin, Daddy Yankee, all of those artists help reinforce cultural pride by spreading awareness and bringing Puerto Rican culture over to the mainland and spreading it further across the globe. Puerto Rico has had a major global impact through popular culture, specifically through music. Genres like reggaeton and Latin trap originated there, and they do kind of reflect social issues and Puerto Rican identity in these genres that pushes further than just those who are from the island. Like noted before, artists like Bad Bunny and Daddy Yankee have made reggaeton globally popular, and Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez helped to bring Latin pop into the United States and globally, kind of more into the mainstream. Food is also a very important part of Puerto Rican culture. Dishes like mofongo and arroz con gandules reflect a mix of the Taino, the African, and the Spanish colonization influences. Cultural traditions also emphasize things like family, community, and celebration. And an example of that is the San Sebastian Street Festival that they do. There are several trends that shape Puerto Rico today and are affecting the nation. A lot of residents, as talked about before, are moving to the mainland, United States, for better opportunities, which does lead to a population decline on the island and something called brain drain. Tourism has also become a major economic driver in Puerto Rico, especially in the more populated places like San Juan. Puerto Rican music and fashion are also becoming more influential globally. An example of that would be Bad Bunny playing the Super Bowl in front of millions of people. And at the same time, urban development is increasing economic activity but widening the inequality gap. Puerto Rico has and does still face major challenges. There is a long term economic instability on the island and a high unemployment rate. Natural disasters like Hurricane Maria have really severely damaged the infrastructure there and exposed a lot of the weaknesses that they have in emergency responses and preparedness. There are also just ongoing infrastructure issues, which results in frequent power outages and just a lot of people feeling unstable and unsafe. And then finally, the political status debate does continue to create uncertainty about the island's future on if they will stay a part of the United States or attempt to fight for their independence. Thank you so much for your time and for watching. And I do have this source slide and a second source slide at the end. Thank you.